stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Committee will please come to order. Do we have posting according to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code submitted known as the Texas Open Meetings Act?
Yes.
Thank you. Any members of the public who wish to speak shall each have 3 minutes to address the court. If not, we will go to item number 1, which is a public hearing on the plan for the district clerk's archive fund, and it is what time?
9:09.
9:09, and we will open the public hearing. It was previously published in the newspaper, and at the last meeting, we did ask for any comments if there was anyone there, and that we did give them notice that that would be actually on the next agenda. And so if there's anyone here this morning that would like to speak about the district clerk's archive fund, then we will hear your comments. If not,
It is 9:10.
it is 9:10, and we will close the public hearing. Item number 2 is district clerk preservation restoration records plan for 2024. Do we have a motion to approve that?
Make that motion. Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carried. Item number 3 is to approve the minutes of the September 20th, 25th, and 29th meetings. I think most everyone that went to Austin talked to our representatives.
Okay.
I may have said legislature, but actually I think most people went and talked to our elected representatives.
Okay, so I'll change that to
Yeah.
elected representatives.
When it says it was an assumption, that was at that time in 2019 that everyone
Yes.
in the county was. So you might put in 2019 just to be clear.
Okay.
Yeah. T.
I wondered about that because I didn't know if you had talked to both of them or.
Well, some of the commissioners have talked to us.
Okay.
But now we have talked to, because he, T came before you for us to discuss that too. What it says.
The mayor's Fairfield and T.
All right, so, on the first sentence, maybe we should say we discussed with the mayor of Fairfield how to determine, although he wasn't determining what the other city was going to do. But it was the mayor of Fairfield that wanted to consider the call on them.
Motion to approve minutes of those corrections.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Item number 4 is budget transfers and amendments.
Did I not? I put yours in there.
I'm looking.
There we are. One amendment, one transfer
One amendment, one transfer.
for the libraries for the amendment.
So I make a motion to approve budget transfers and minutes.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Thank you. Item 5 is approve and pay the bills.
second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 6 is to approve payroll.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Number 7 is reports. And report from JP2. From the tax office, one for September. Anyone else have a report? Do we have a motion to accept the reports? You got a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item number 8, burn ban.
No action. No action.
No action, so we still do not have a burn ban. Item number 9, special road use agreements. Are there any? Item number 10, the bonds and education certificates. We have one from UPS, Stephanie Whitfield. That is local access. And one for Alicia Davis, acknowledgement of paternity. Any others? Bonds or education certificates. If not, do we have a motion to accept those?
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Item number 11 is discussion of Proposition 9, which will be on the November 7th constitutional amendment election. Ms. Alicia Smith is going to talk to us about that a little bit.
Should I stand here?
Yes, ma'am. Right there is fine.
I have my notes. I'm not a speaker. As you know, my name is Alicia Smith. I taught elementary PE in Fairfield for 26 years, 28 years at home. And I taught some of the people as a kid. I taught some people here today, and I've taught most of your children and some of your grandchildren. So why do we, and I have notes because I have a lot of figures in here that I want to get right. Why do we want everybody to vote for Prop 9? Retired school employees from Freestone County and across Texas are in much need of a cost of living adjustment. No TRS retiree has had a cost of living adjustment in 20 years. The last one the legislature gave was for retirees of 2004 or before. So anybody in the last 20 years has not had any cost of living raise. I have some startling facts from the TRS brochure, A Great Value for All Texans. 29.7% of all TRS monthly annuities is $1,000 or less a month. Let me say that again. 29.7% of TRS retirees' monthly annuities is $1,000 or less a month. And then 22.7% of TRS retirees' monthly annuities is $1,001 to $2,000 a month. It's hard to live on that. That means that nearly 50% of TRS retirees is making $2,000 or less a month. And that is their sole means of support each month. Because most people don't know that TRS retirees and those that have pensions do not receive Social Security. They're not eligible for Social Security. 96% of them are not eligible for Social Security at retirement. And most of them only receive their TRS annuity, even though most public school teachers and employees work other jobs out of education, and those employers for the rest of their career, and those employers take Social Security out of their wages each week or month, and they will never see that money again because it is in the federal government. So that, because of that, it's the federal WEP, the Winfield Elimination Provision. And then another hit that these people take is the federal GPO, which is the Government Pension Offset. And that, retirees do not receive their spouse's Social Security like all other workers do. And if they do receive some Social Security, then it's drastically cut because of their pension. In this last year, the 88th legislative session, TRTA, which is our only advocate for public school retirees, was going to seek the legislature to give us a substantial COLA. And their advocacy and the TRS members that contacted their legislators and went to visit, call, email, and send letters, the legislators listened, and they voted unanimously to give 2 financial benefits in this session. The first was a supplemental payment. It came out of Senate Bill 10 to retirees that were 70 to 74 years of age, and they received $2,400 stipend. And then retirees 75 years or older received a $7,500 stipend, and they both received those in September. This was a really big win for TRS retirees, but the legislators wanted to help more because there was even more retirees in need. And they passed unanimously a tiered COLA of 2%, 4%, or 6%, depending on when the retiree retired. And that came in a constitutional amendment, which was HJR 2. And they also did that unanimously. The constitutional amendment was needed because the funds that they wanted to give in the two benefits was more than the constitutional cap. But they didn't want to leave one off this time and put it 2 years out. They wanted to do both. So they're giving it for approval to the voters, and if the majority of voters vote yes for Proposition 9, then those public school retired employees will receive a cost of living adjustment. So voting yes for Proposition 9 will not create a tax increase because the money is already set there by the legislature. It's in the general fund, and if the vote passes a majority, the money will be released to TRS fund in January. So I have another reason of why you should be voting for Proposition 9. The economic impact of Texas public school employees in Texas and their communities. Did you know that there are 1.9 million TRS annuitants in Texas in 2022? That means that 1 out of 20 Texans is a member of TRS and most probably works in public education. TRS had 94% of the TRS benefits are locally spent by annuitants for their food, housing, medical care, and at local businesses. Annual impact of TRS pensions checks $10.6 million in pension checks and $5.7 million in health care payments, meaning that in 2022, approximately $16.2 million was spent in Freestone County by retired school employees, stimulating our economy. And these funds enter the economy and stimulate in 3 ways. First, the direct impact is the annuitant gets their check, goes to town, and buys their supplies for the week or the month. The second, indirect, the businesses that those annuitants used their funds for to pay for their food, pay their employees' wages, and they have their supplies that they need to run their businesses. And the third is an induced impact, where those that received those wages went out and bought the supplies they need for their family. And those supply chain also uses that money also. So it goes in a cycle, and that money from retirees is making a difference in communities. $47.6 billion is the total monetary impact from TRS pensions, checks, and health care payments in 2022 to Texas and its communities. TRTA retirees across Texas also contributed 4.3 million hours of community volunteer service to Texas communities in 2021. And that was valued at more than $117 million. In District 12, which is where Freestone County is, our members volunteered 285,000 hours in 2022. And also, the TRTA's annual book project is putting books into the hands of children that might not be able to afford a book across Texas. In District 12, we donated, gave away 9,727 books in 2022. And Freestone County collects gently used and new books. And for the last 3 years, we have given books, hundreds of books, out at the Christmas on the Square in December. I'd like to thank Judge Grant for letting me speak today and letting me speak to you all, and for your consideration of the information that I've given you. I'll remind everyone that early voting starts October the 23rd and goes through November the 2nd, with Election Day being on November the 7th. But I always tell my people, don't wait till Election Day, because we're busy and we don't know what might keep us away from the polls.
After looking at the second resolution,
Yes.
it says to encourage, that we would encourage and support the passage of Proposition 9 by voting on November the 7th in favor of Texas retired public school retirees. To sum up.
I have information that I gave you
Ma'am.
for your use.
Is there any discussion? Is that a motion?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I think we can just sign this one.
Do we
Okay,
sign
and
it?
give it to you now.
Okay.
Do we sign it?
This one.
Yeah, all sign the same one. We all sign the same one?
I don't know. I've never done a proclamation.
All right, we're gonna all sign the same.
That's good.
one. And if you would, on that second column, with, the position. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I did not realize that until you brought that to us.
Okay, well, good. Hope I did good. Do I take this with me, or
You
you
surely
do
can.
that?
If you will take it, let Beth make a copy,
Okay.
so that we can give it to county clerk. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I thought some of yes.
I need a bigger chair.
Yes.
Said I need a bigger chair.
Well, I'm fine for you.
Morning. Two.
Oh, it's 28. Kathy retired, you go past 32, then you go to retirement. I mean, that was kind of going up where, you know, when you start 32, after 32, you're Kathy got 29.
Thank you, Judge Grant.
That's
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Item number 12 is Office Road Use Presentation.
Thank you.
Showtime.
Yes, sir.
Showtime.
Good morning, everyone.
Let me ask you. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
How are you?
My name is Reed Robinson. I'm with Atlas Energy. And this is kind of an initial presentation for road use agreement with the county here. We're doing an approximate 55-mile pipeline. I have missed it once. I apologize.
Here you go. Keep in mind.
55 miles, approximately 30 miles will be in Freestone County with 15 road crossings, Hooker County roads. It'll be affecting 3 precincts. I broke down the actual permits for each precinct here. Here's precinct 2. You have 1 road crossing there. On the first page is the actual road permit there, and then followed by the correlating driveway, temporary driveway outlined by the next 3 pages behind you. Precinct 4, yours, sir. There's 6 in your deal there, and then none in yours. And then here's precinct 1. You have 8 crossings in this permanent access road. Really all this is just getting this forward, answering any questions you may have, and kind of moving forward on any permit process that you would require. As far as the bondage, I'm sure you have bonds that will need to take place, and any appropriate forms we're willing to fill out for you. So.
Going to be hauling big pipe in?
I'm sorry?
You're going to be hauling big pipe in?
Yes, sir, the contractor will, and that will be a separate permit. They'll have a road use like haul agreement with y'all. The contractor is expected to be selected at the end of this month, and then we'll have another presentation with him, and he'll have the routes from the pipe yard, which routes he'll be taking, and which roads he'll be using. That will be a separate agreement and separate contract.
Will the backyard one from here, Reed?
The backyards.
The pipe yards?
Pipe yards, no, they are not. The pipe yards will be marked on when we come back for the long haul use agreement, and they'll have the actual routes depicted on it with the pipe yards. But they are in county over, I can't remember, Limestone County is where the pipe yard is. So, yes, sir.
Do y'all have a number of roads that you'll be traveling?
These are the ones we are crossing. As far as where we're traveling to, they'll have that on the next one.
But you'll bore all your
Yes, sir. We're
15
going
roads
to be
across, but you'll
boring.
be traveling on multiple roads to get to those locations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Multiple county roads. Yes, sir. From Limestone all the way over to Anderson County, and obviously crossing through Freestone. So,
One contract?
yes, sir. It'll be one contractor for the whole project. Yes, sir.
You don't know who it is?
No, they're in the bidding process right now. We're supposed to have it by the end of the month. So
Okay.
it's down to 4. So.
When y'all discuss the travel route, just make sure, I mean, those guys learn pretty quick where, if y'all got a road that you're supposed to go down, and they know that there's a shortcut somewhere, well, the next thing you know, they'll be going through the shortcut, and that's not on the contract deal, and so then they tear it up, and then we're responsible for that. So
Yes, sir.
we've had, I've had a lot of dealings with pipelines, and not all of them have been real good. I mean, people get, we go out as commissioners and build a real nice road, and people enjoy, they like it. And the next thing we know, pipeline comes in and tears it up. I'm not saying anything about your company. I'm just saying that's just something that's happened to me. And it's really important that we fix that as we go. We keep those people happy, because I don't want to call it me, because that pipeline doesn't concern me. It concerns y'all and the people that y'all put down.
Totally understandable. And I think what we're going to try to do this time, or at least what I've done in the past, but what I've heard for this particular project is, once we have the route selected, we're going to use a GoPro and a video recorder and drive the roads at close proximity and give you all a copy of the before, and then we'll have an after, and then we can address damages that come up, obviously. But so you'll have physical evidence of here's what the road was before,
And really, so y'all will have
Well, yes, well, both sides, yes, so, to hold us accountable, so. Because yes, I've been on both sides of projects where you've done a good job and the others haven't.
We've had good ones and we've had bad ones.
What's good, in my experience, is 3 of the 4 I've worked with before and had no issues, so hopefully I'm hoping one of those gets selected. That's one of my pay grades.
Can I see where we're looking at crossing the road?
Have an overview map.
And then when you say crossing the road, you're going under, correct?
Yes, sir.
What kind of traffic is that gonna, or what is it gonna entail as far as traffic going through there if you're going under?
Nothing during the process, but when we're moving groups across, construction groups, we will have traffic control in place. And also moving equipment over, we'll use rubber tires across the roads to damage them. So.
Just curious.
I take it all the drops, pipe, leftover piece of pipe, y'all are gonna donate to the county, so we can use it for boats,
I'm happy to ask for you. Yeah,
Great idea.
they get you.
Sure, I'll make it barbecue pit, but the mom will make it
Yeah, you only need
We need the long stuff. 36 inch old.
That's a good part. So that's all I have. If you all. Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you.
If it caught you, just like you get that corn up there. I didn't know that you were right there.
Item number 13 is a resolution agreement for home delivered grant meal programs. And this is from the Texas Department of Agriculture, Texans Feeding Texans, home delivered meal grant program. And it tells you why and what. The main thing is that they are going to give the Freestone County $1,278 to be used between February of 24 and January 31st of 25. And it also tells you where they can use the funds in that program, in the senior services program. Do you have a motion?
Good motion.
A second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 14 is a resolution authorizing the nomination of an individual for the Central Appraisal District.
I talked to Sid, he said he would stay on. What, do we get 1.5? What do we get?
We get so many votes.
I know we get 1.5 people,
Well, we just.
and we go to
I think
somebody
we have
else.
enough for one, and then we
We go
share
to somebody else.
Put it
Yes,
on somebody else.
we combined with,
the school.
I think it was TIG and,
Cities.
I thought for Jerry Don it was TIG and Dew last year.
I think that's right.
Contacted about,
Mhm.
I would like to see all our votes go to the same place they did last year.
Yeah.
All right. So I will contact the appraisal district and see what, well, actually, we have it in there on, our file, showing what, how we delegated those. So that's what we're doing, is the same as we did last year,
Yes, ma'am.
and we'll look that up. Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
All right, we'll get that. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Item number 15 is the order setting the annual salary of the official court reporter to 77. Total salary is $97,409. And Freestone County pays $44,040. The 87 is $106,209.60. Freestone County pays $19,117.68 annually. The difference being there are 2 counties in the 77 and 4 in the 87. Do we have a motion to accept these?
And this matches exactly what we budgeted for, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we have one before.
Make that motion.
Second?
All in favor, aye. Motion carried.
Should have been four.
I was just thinking, if any of you have children that are gonna be going to decide what they want to do, they might want to think about that.
We need more court reports.
They need more.
Yes.
And you need more court reporters. You surely do. Item number 16 is to award bids for the sale of a 2000 Ford flatbed, 1996 International truck, and 1993 Ford 3/4 ton for precinct 4.
2 bidders.
2 bidders.
The first one was for Denny Brown, and he bid on separately all 3 of the vehicles. Okay, so this first one is for the 2000 Ford. Ford flatbed for $600. The 1993 Ford 3/4 ton pickup. $400. And then the 1996 International truck. He did 1,600. So that's 2,000, 2,600. And then the second bidder was Don Kent. And so he bid on the truck, $1,261, the flatbed of $561, and then the single cab, $261. So,
Can you break that back down again?
okay,
How much did he bid on
so the 1993 Ford 3/4 ton, is that the single cab, or is that?
Yeah.
That's the single cab. Okay, so Donald Kent bid 261, this other guy bid 400. And then the 2000 Ford flatbed, he bid $600, and Don Kent bid $561 on the flatbed. And then the International truck, he bid $1,600, and Don Kent bid $1,261. So the other guy, I get Denny Brown, got them all.
I know any other way to, I mean, just sit in my yard and jumped up, I mean, I know.
They don't run,
There's nothing else, I mean, I know to do to them, they can go out.
it's taking up space, taking up space.
Get them off insurance.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make a motion to award bids, all of them to this, Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown.
I say,
All in favor? Any opposed? No, motion carried. So if anyone that wants to leave can. Designation of Senate Bill 22. Do you have a printout of that? Any of that? For the, what is it, Senate Bill 22?
A printout like as in, the budget or?
Yes, yes.
I can-
At the time, we just put some figures in there.
Right.
Would work fine.
This is one that I had done, if that's good with y'all.
Okay, well, let's copy of that, will be fine. And then we can start from there, and see if we need to make.
We
any
want to go like
adjustments.
copies? You want everybody to have copies?
You want copies of that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Can you make them color?
I can go print them out.
So if you would like, while we were getting that information together, we could do number 19. Y'all want to do number 19?
Let's do that.
And then we'll come back. Number 19 is to discuss Charles Morgan's request to rescind. It was, he wanted us to send a letter asking the Attorney General to rescind his opinion KP 0371. Is that correct?
Once you rescind it, that opinion.
That opinion, all right. And do you want to say a little something short, something about that?
Well, I gave you, each of you, a
Yes.
package that
Yes.
shows why and what, and facilities shown.
Well, if each person has their packet, then you can review that, and they have. And we have talked about this for numerous times. You've talked to us, so I will tell you what I believe about it.
So I said, I'm not hearing,
Sir,
I'm not hearing you.
you want to come up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. When you open the Attorney General opinion website, or actually it's the Attorney General, when you go to the opinion website, they have at the top Attorney General opinions. An Attorney General opinion is a written interpretation of existing law. Attorney General opinions cannot create new provisions in the law or correct unintended, undesirable effects of the law, which is what you're saying, basically is that it's not correct.
Right.
And it says an Attorney General opinions do not necessarily reflect the Attorney General's personal views, nor does the Attorney General in any way rule on what the law should say. Furthermore, Attorney General opinions cannot resolve factual disputes. Now, you want to look at that. The opinion itself, it does say that the annual plan regarding the Commission's use of monitoring and enforcement resources to ensure public safety and protect the environment. That's the annual plan. Now, the annual
That's right
plan.
out of the law.
Yes. Now, the annual plan must include a report of the information collected by the Commission. I'm not going to read all of it because some of it is just redundant. The information the legislature directs the Commission to consider as it examines the strategic use of resources and develop the plan. There's a list of all the things, you're supposed to look at. But then, conversely, the Commission is not required to include information not identified in Section 81.066. So any information outside of what is in that statute, the Commission is not required to include. It says, nor do you identify a specific statute or Commission rule that concerns the control of noise, the violation of which would be required to be included in the plan. It says that there is no specific statute or commission rule that addresses that. Specifically, noise, specifically.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And then it says we find no express provision in the statutes governing the railroad commission that requires the commission to enforce noise controls in oil and gas operations. They're talking about specifically again.
That's protecting citizens.
I understand your point, I do. But I'm saying this is what he says. Based on this, they just can look at what is in the statute. And like we've talked about before, we find no commission rule that specifically relates to the control of noise in oil and gas operations. Now, what we talked about many times before, in order for this to be addressed, you have to get it in a statute by the legislature, specifically that noise is addressed. That is the way I read that. Is that the right way that you read that?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And we have looked at this for you. You know, we have looked at this and talked about this, and I understand the general language that you're talking about. But what it says in here is, and what I believe is, he can't address it if it's not specifically in a statute. And it's not. It doesn't specifically say noise.
They say protect.
I understand, Mr. Moore.
We're throwing it out.
I understand.
It's in there. They protect people. So, and all this data here shows that they're not protecting the public. They're not doing what the law says. The law is generally in that section.
But it's generally, and in order for you to be able to get them to address it, it's gonna have to be specifically said noise in the statute. And that is my interpretation of it.
So we work with the,
Legislature like you've done before, and, you know, I know you've talked to them, and they have maybe put a little more language, but it's too broad. They're gonna have to specifically say, address the noise.
okay, so
Ryan, do you have anything that you want to add to that?
No, ma'am, I think you're hitting it nail on the head, and obviously we're sorry that, the interpretation's that way, but it just is. And I think without the statute changing, that interpretation's not gonna change from the AG's office.
So we're not able to protect our people, even though it says protect our people.
I think it's one of those things that obviously we all care sitting in this room, but we can't change. I think your representative that goes down to Austin, I think that is, I've always thought that's the appropriate place for you to be talking, for them to change things in Austin as it deals with the statute. I mean, we've kind of carried this ball as far as we can by sending that off and getting the opinion for you, which I thought was a good thing for all of us to do, and that's his interpretation. And again, I think now it's kind of going beyond us into Austin and statutory language and things like that, that nobody in this room can really change.
We can't change it. You're gonna have to get it
We
changed in the
can
statute.
here, we can talk to Angela or get her to rescind that opinion, because that opinion is not in accordance with
The
the law.
opinion, in my opinion, the opinion that he wrote is correct. He can't change what the law says, he can't add to it, he can't subtract from it.
But he will add to it. He said, you can do whatever you want to. He changed the law.
I don't agree with that, but that's my opinion. And that's our county attorney's
Can
opinion.
we go to Angela, what I'm saying?
I think you can
Go
send her a
to
letter
Angela or
and get, if you want to get a petition and send her, whatever. But, I think.
It needs to be to change the statute.
Yes.
It's not rescind the opinion, because it's not going to do any good.
No.
It's going to have to modify the
The
statute
statute.
through the legislature.
Yes. And I know that you have gone to Austin and have talked with them and have tried to get them to help you with that, but you're gonna have to work on it somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, they gave me brain damage 3 times.
I'm sorry, Mr. President.
killed 10 people in this county. Well, that's a sorry state of affairs. I will work continually trying to get this incorporated in the law. I think it's in the law. His opinion was it's not.
Until it's specifically in there, they're not gonna do it. And until it's specifically in there, they're not gonna do anything for it.
And it seems like it.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, do we have the, copies? Yes, she put those out. Now, what we need to designate is how these funds are going to be, the total is correct on what but at the time, we had not specifically designated these. So we'll start with the sheriff's department. The top part of that is the additional amount that will put Jeremy's salary to the $75,000, and then the amount that would bring the deputy, all the other deputies, after we had done the raise and incorporated the inflation supplement into it, all of the other deputies except this new one were up to the, was it 40,000? 45,000 for the deputies. So one supplement of the 4,340 will bring him up to what was required. And then the jailers, as you can see, that is the amount, same thing, that's the amount that would bring them up to the 40. Is that correct? 40 on the jailers? Okay. Now, the other part of that is the remainder of the funds, how you were going to spend the other funds. Is that correct? And you would have, that was just the salary part. And then there was money for, I believe it was vehicles, 2 vehicles.
I requested two more deputies and a higher salary.
And no vehicles.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about vehicles. You did. But we do need 2 vehicles, but
Okay, well, that's what we're discussing right now, is what we're gonna do. So, with this salary part, you know how much is left?
no matter.
Okay.
What do you have total to start with?
350.
And this does not have those extra positions in it. We put them in at one time and then took them back out,
All
so.
right, let's talk,
Let's figure out how much money we got first. With what's on the paper, I came up with a little over 64,000.
That's what I got.
Okay,
Then you got your payroll taxes.
okay. So how much you wanna add to it?
Well, I was looking at that.
63, 192, 52.
I just rounded off.
64, right, 64. Just guessing.
I added them all up.
Yeah, anything that goes with the salaries.
Did anybody ever say how long that the state was gonna fund this and this grant? Is it
No,
a
we
year,
talked about
5 years, is it?
We talked about having a form sign saying if it ain't there, it ain't there.
I know, but I'm just saying, did they, I'm not, did
They-
they, you know if they did, Brian, if they put a date, a timeline on it?
I think it's gonna go I think what we can guarantee is every 2 years until they go back down to Austin and meet again. I think, I would hope that it would,
For y'all?
I would hope that it would continue.
Ours is annual, ours is every year. I don't know what theirs is.
Yeah, I feel like they'd have to go down
I think
to,
he's just saying
Change the
legislature meeting
legislation.
every other year.
Oh,
yeah.
You gotta fill out for it each year.
yeah, we gotta fill out for it each year.
I would say we'd be holding our breath every 2 years when they go back down and
Nobody knows.
they look back at it. Again, kind of like I said before, we're under the impression that my office understands that they could take it away and it's gonna
We gotta.
go away. We'll take it while they give it, and
That's right.
if they decide not to, hopefully they keep it going, but we can't really control that one way or another.
The final rules, I did talk to, a gentleman at the comptroller's office yesterday, and he was like the analyst, and he was very informative. In fact, I got his number from a PowerPoint that I had that he had put out, and he was very helpful. He said the final rules would be out on the 6th of October. And he said it'll be in the Texas Registry, and then on the 13th, that it would be available for people to comment on. So,
Trying to figure out something on that.
Did you come up with the numbers on the extra?
What percentage on the payroll can we factor in for taxes?
Rounded on 64.
Well, we've got a payroll, we've got a payroll sheet, does it say on there? Yes, it's all right here. FICA is .062, Medicare is .0145, and retirement is .07. That's all that we know.
there's
.07 comes out of their check, but the .1685 is what the county pays. .062,
It's about 0.27 in total, right?
Yes.
765 is that, but then you've got that at 16.
They said they added it up, it was 65,000.
65, okay.
I didn't add it up.
Yeah.
It's about 25%. And there's no additional on these that are on the payroll sheet, you know, with the colors? Because we're already paying for the health insurance on that.
It's 10,000. So 64.
So,
But we have the sheriff's money right now.
So I got.
But we don't have the DA's money until February.
79.
we don't have any of
We
it.
don't have to.
We don't have, that's what I don't understand. The sheriff had to start this year. This right now.
Yeah, we had to set the requirements prior to getting the money.
That's what I did, 64
Yeah.
plus the.
And then we gotta file for it in
plus the
January.
taxes.
Right.
Well, these taxes are on all that too. So I just did the taxes on just Jeremy's.
Y'all can be divided out several different ways, but the DA's office, it's all gonna be salary in it.
It's
So
all,
it's just a matter of salary and the expenses,
yes, ma'am.
because the payroll taxes, thank goodness, and stuff will come out of that.
Okay.
So that'll be easy for us to figure.
Yes,
As far
ma'am.
as how that's gonna be.
I come up with 80,000 for salaries and payroll taxes.
That's what I got. Which leaves you about
79 something.
leaves you about 270 after that, out of the 350.
Well, yeah, what's on the paper, and then I'd like to have 2 more deputies and a higher salary for the deputies. I've checked with all the surrounding counties, all of them are over $50,000 now. 50 to 52,000 is their starting pay for their deputies. That's Kevin Ellis, Murray Avenue, Tanner, and Rudy over in Anderson. Yeah, Tanner's at 61, 63, that's a different tax base, but, yeah. See the starting pay about at least 50,000 with certificate pay. That certificate pay is a big deal, and we've never been able to get it here. And I'd like to see us use this money to finally get it, get these deputies an incentive to continue their education and experience. I know when we were talking before, I asked for the 48 and it's certificate pay, and that was just to get where they were already. Now they're over 50, so we're still, we're still going to be the bottom of the pile when they're looking to go to work somewhere around here. It'd be nice to at least get up to where.
This year put all of them at least 45, is that right?
Yes, everybody says is set at 45 now. Yeah. A lot of our deputies are already at 46, 47. So.
So do you have all the slots filled that's in the regular budget?
Do I have the field? No.
How many?
I still have 2 jailer positions that's not filled, and
I'm talking about deputies now. Deputies, do you have all of the deputies?
no. I'll have the jail deputy and 1 other deputy, so I have 2 positions that's still not filled. I haven't even gotten any apps.
Oh, I see, there's one here. I think there's only one position.
1 under the deputies, and then there's 1 under the jail, so that's 2.
But you remember that you transferred instead of
We
the
still have the 1
CID.
deputy though. We argue about this every time. We still have 1 position that I still need to fill and then make somebody promote. So there's still 1 position regardless under the deputy,
There is one open position under the deputy.
and then 1 under the jail.
That's not real. Oh, deputies, I'm just talking about deputies.
Well, my jail is a deputy too, the transport deputy. So to us, there's two positions still available for deputy. You got 1 that falls under the jail and 1 under this one.
So as far as,
Okay, correct. There
Yes,
is
ma'am.
a transport that is open.
Yes, ma'am.
each position's coming out of a different,
Yeah, it comes out of different, yeah, it's coming out of different departments.
right,
No.
So there's.
We just see it as, we see it
is 2.
as deputies, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 1 open position for regular deputy. We have 1 open position of a transport.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I got that.
Now, at one point in time.
Well, if I can just, so, based on this, there was supposed to be 9 deputies. But we added another deputy in because you hadn't filled the CID, but with what's filled, unless someone's gone that I have on the sheet, the full sheriff's department is filled.
It's not.
Well, who's missing? Who do I have on here that is gone now?
It's not. That's back when y'all took the
Because this is
position.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you don't have 10, you only have 9. So as soon as you promote one of these up, they'll start getting the CID pay, but that won't open a position. Because we added you a deputy position in to accumulate that salary.
I made that motion. Made that motion to move that position. Somebody-
Yes, we did, but we still haven't filled the position we still had open.
That's what this hire, there is one, we agree there is one open position, period. Don't talk about the jail deputy.
Okay.
Transport, don't talk about that. Okay, so we have one open position right now that is not filled.
Yes.
And then we have, as far as the CID, you're gonna move that deputy back up there.
Eventually, as soon as I can get somebody hired, yes.
Yes. And then, because see, it shows on the CID, it shows that it's, what's budgeted there is $2,400. Because you took the rest of that salary out and made a deputy. So whenever you transfer that person back up there,
You only got $2,400.
no, he'll transfer, say, I don't know who it's gonna be, but say it was, one of the bottom, say it was Lee Fogel. Lee Fogel would move up
His
here,
salary.
he would take that salary and put it in with the 2,400 for the CID position.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So what we have on this sheet is correct. What's wrong?
Well, you are saying one open position. I don't show any open
All right,
positions.
look on your sheet that you gave me at the bottom where it says open position. Next to the bottom.
I was looking on the, I didn't print me out.
Open position.
This was printed on 8/16, Judge. They've hired Gary Dahl.
It's right up here. Isn't that him?
No, he's not on there. So that open position is no longer open.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Okay, over here is where I have Gary Dollar.
Yes.
Oh, but that's for the additional amount. That's just for the additional amount, raising it up. So if Gary
Yes.
Dollar fill this slot, then there's not an open slot.
Unless someone has left that I've still got on the sheet.
Okay.
Yep. All right, that's right. That's right. Yes.
Okay,
So there's one
so that's one step. Let's
position.
go to the next step.
that y'all have in that.
So we're good on deputy. Now we're gonna talk about
Well, we're
transport.
good. We understand where we are.
Yes.
Okay. And this Gary Dollar, I'm just gonna write it in, if I have a pencil, we have a pencil.
I do.
Guard here, in case something changes. I'm gonna write Gary right here. By that open, so we, all right. Now, let's look at, what are you talking about now on Jailers? 642. 642. Okay. I show a bunch of open positions on Jailers.
And a couple of those have filled,
Yes,
Judge,
we only
they
have-
just and I don't have them in there yet because they haven't started the pay on that
Will there
yet.
be 3 or 4 of those?
Oh, there's two
Great.
that.
Open positions?
No, I'm sorry, it's transferring over. I mean, Jailers.
Just one, they had a lady, Kathy Singleton,
Right.
coming from the dispatch to
She's
the
already
jail.
transferred.
So that's one position and they hired a jailer. So there's two of these open positions that have recently just come into the office.
So we have
Two of
two.
these in red are actually
Two of
filled.
those in red just got filled.
Yeah.
We just don't
So we
have
Are
have-
they the ones from the city?
No, ma'am.
No,
that's
those are dispatchers.
So if you lose two dispatchers to become jailers,
Oh, that's dispatchers,
One.
yeah, I'm on the
I
wrong one.
lost one dispatch. Went to-
And then a new
And we
hire.
hired one. And then we got two more interviews this week.
Doesn't have anything to do with this, just jailers.
Yeah, and then we got two more interviews this week. So
or
us moving to 40 really
or
helped.
jailers.
Yeah. Us moving to the
So
40.
you got two filled and two open, or one open and a jail transport.
No, we have two openings. We filled two of them already.
If you got two filled, this shows you got one more jailer and then a jail transport, which is the other deputy.
That's what we have on here.
Oh, Peggy Beckham, sorry. Peggy Beckham's gone,
Yes, she's gone.
so that will be an open.
Okay, that would be
All
another
right.
one. Okay.
Who was that?
Top lady.
Hey,
Peggy.
Okay.
so it's 3 jailers and then 1 deputy as a jail transport.
No, he filled two, so you
Yeah.
got Peggy's
Two.
open, you got an open position open.
Got two opens
Two
and
open.
one
Two
transport.
open.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 open and 1.
yes. And we're doing two interviews this week, so we're hoping that that works out. And our, as far as the positions we have
Okay.
that available will be filled
Okay.
outside of the deputy position in there.
Okay, so we agree with where we are. So now, out of
Out of 350,
out of the 350 at this point,
270 left.
270 left.
That was where I just got that figure to taking that up,
So this is gonna
64,000,
go up.
which is what this was, which flipped to the 16, so it brought it to 86. 80 off 350.
Yeah. So it'd be 6,700 on
so you're wanting, what you're asking is then for 2 deputies
Yes, ma'am, two patrol deputies.
and what else?
And I'd like for them to make at least $50,000 with certificate pay.
At least how much?
50,000 with certificate pay.
So how many heads is that gonna be? How many people? We're talking deputies now, right?
Right, if we move the starting pay to 50K.
You move to 50, how
So we're
much
at
is
25
270
right
go
now,
down?
so you'll need 5,000 more.
No, you won't, because some of them make 46, 47, 49, so you're not gonna need 5,000 for every day.
Okay, now,
I see.
but that includes certificate pay?
No.
Adding,
Added
add.
certificate pay on top of that.
Is there gonna be a cap on certificate pay?
Yes, it's, the average certificate pay across the state really is 1,200 for intermediate, 1,800 for advanced, and 2,400 for masters, and that's capped.
1,200 per
Year.
year.
Or 1,800 or 24 a year, depending on what the certificate.
But you don't do it in the individualized, like this guy's got this cert, it's worth $50. 10 people may have that, but then somebody may be, speaking 2 languages, that's a different cert pay or something like that.
Right, some people have a master's, some people have a basic. Some people, you know, I mean, so different people have different levels in their, training, peace officer.
But it's not by cert, by cert, by cert, you're just got it broken down in 3 categories.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, you could go your whole career as a basic peace officer license. You could do 20 years and not move past the basic.
if you didn't care.
Okay, if that's all you want, that's all you can get. But through time as a deputy holding that license, and then through the educational responsibilities that you have to meet for the advancement of that next license, then you would move up to that next license. And, it's just an educational way of continuing education in that license process to advance to that next level. But also too, remember I said it's time and place. So somebody who was just 2 years is not going to get a master peace officer license. You have to have time and grade and then meet the educational requirements to get that next level certificate pay.
That's why a lot of the places you'll see different starting pays, because their experience and their training, like in Navarro, you could actually start off at 63. Their starting pay is 61, but depending on your experience and your training with your certificates, you might start off at 63.
I think just to be safe, now, are we gonna do deputies, 2 new deputies? Along with what we've got here? And raising the others to 50. And that should be the deputies, yes. Why don't we reschedule this then until next time?
We could have a lot of this pre-calculated.
Yes, and let's calculate it to be sure we're not spending more money than we have in the grant. And we'll have that, we'll see where we are with those, and then see what we're gonna do with the rest of it.
I got a question though.
Okay.
Because it don't look too bad as far as looking at these right here.
Yes.
No, in my head, when I skimmed over it earlier, and I didn't put, it's not exact, but in my head when I skimmed over it earlier,
Yeah,
I don't think it even fell over $40,000 more dollars.
okay. Yeah, these.
But like this guy right here, so the liability of someone that's gonna be making 50 with the insurance, you're looking at 61,000.
Two more deputies.
So 2 more, so you're talking about 120 right there. This before we
Yes,
do the bump it up to
Yes.
50.
about
That's the
122.
20
So that,
for the insurance. Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
for the
yeah, all 2 of them, yeah.
Right.
And,
that's gonna leave you about 150. And then you would have to take the difference between what they're making now and that increase up to 50.
That's what he's saying, he figured it was about 40.
But my question is, if that were to happen, the money that's left, can we use it for the stuff going in the cars?
Yes. Oh, I think we can use it because it has to be considered safety equipment, so I think we can use it towards the body cameras, the 113,000, towards, our body
And then we
cameras.
can transfer that
So
over to.
either way, yes.
directly out of there.
I'm just thinking about that hardware. That-
Yes.
Let's do that, and then if Jeannie will do us a sheet,
Or put it towards vehicle.
if she'll do us a sheet so we'll know exactly where we are, calculating all the payroll taxes and everything
I'll get
on
with
the ones in and the ones out. Well, the ones we already have, we would have to pick that up. No, I guess that
Yeah, it's a
additional
fault.
would come on there too. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But also, yes, I mean, so
Yes, that's-
we'll be able to use the extra
Yeah,
towards stuff
my
we've got
question,
going
you didn't
on.
already have that earmarked. If you get the 2 positions and get to raise everybody up, then the rest of that money, we can
We can use
make
it
it fall in for
to help,
this.
to
new
help
cash.
with what
Yeah.
we've got going on, yes. Plus, I'm still looking at the grants too, to help with that.
Well, and I'm not gonna know all that stuff that y'all talking about, so if y'all can get me some
I'll
numbers
come
together,
over with you.
because
I'll come over with you.
that's a little
And
much
then
for
we're
me
gonna
to try to
well,
guess
what
what
we're
y'all
gonna
need.
do, Jeannie, is just add the names on here, the ones that they already have, and show that they're,
How much it's going up.
the increase, like we did up there, the increase to get them, some of these will change.
Well, I won't know incentives, what,
No, you won't, they'll have to do that.
Yeah, I'll get with you.
Maybe we need another column for incentives, so you'll know how much.
Yeah.
That
I
would
can,
be
because
cool.
I can go back to the office today and I'll know by the end of the day exactly what
Okay,
each
and
one
then
is.
y'all can agree that it's correct. Thank you.
And also,
If you don't want to, you can send me this and I'll do it.
Okay.
is this gonna help with overtime and all that kind of stuff, people making comp time and all
Well,
that?
we don't have that issue on the deputy side necessarily, because me and
What
him,
about, I mean, with the positions in the jail, you get them filled, is that gonna take up?
it helps, but we have just enough, so when somebody misses, you still gotta have somebody covered. But it does help, it's gonna be a lot better than what it is. Plus, with that many people, we can give people days off.
Well, we got all these open positions. If we get them filled, that would,
Well, that puts us back where we were. We were still building some comp time, even when all those positions were filled before, because we had just enough people. So if somebody called, or something happens to somebody, then we may have a little comp time being accrued, but it's not gonna be like that.
Now, how much did we pay out in comp time this last time?
28,000, I believe.
do you want to say something, Jeannie?
I was just.
It was already
I
on our
was talking
salary.
about this SB 22, just so there's a full understanding of that, since the reimbursement comes like October. If y'all were to do that from October and not get the stuff till January, we can only go back to October the 1st, so we're not starting, if y'all agree anybody starts on the 22, we couldn't start it until next payroll, because October 1, we
And that's
run a
fine.
payroll
What
in
we're gonna have to
arrears.
do too is we're gonna have to look at what all this is gonna be and see if we have enough money in that fund. If we have enough money in that.
And I just wanted it aware that we didn't start
Well, we need
October
the actual
1
amount.
paying, because.
Right
they
now,
had
as it
paid
is, we
before.
do. We can pay everything. We do have, there is enough money in there. We're about 20,000 over, so, or 20,000 under.
Okay, let's see it. Let's see it whenever we get the.
Well, and I don't know about the additional stuff,
So
so,
that's what I'm talking
yeah.
about. So it may not start payroll. start.
99.
No, 99.
No.
All right.
That's gonna carry over
We'll
forward.
just
Yeah,
divide it
you know
into
what I'm saying.
less.
But Lloyd,
I gotta put off projects until people start paying their taxes. So, if I can't, if I don't have the money I'm supposed to have, I just don't know where that other money comes from.
what comes from the general fund? For them, I mean, that's where it would come from.
They do have enough money, like what they had carryover, don't they? They have cash.
Yeah, they have carryover, you know, so they just have to make sure they allow their,
On paper.
That's on paper.
No,
that's
real
the
life,
life.
you have that carryover money there.
that's the only thing you have.
Maybe the only thing, but you got that carryover money, that's cash money in the bank.
What's that paperwork?
And I agree.
What's that paperwork?
This just cost somebody a hamburger.
I may be paying.
One thing I would like to say about the comp time, even though we tried hard since we've been here not to have comp, we've knocked that down. I mean, you know, early on, when we're short, we can't do anything about it, but also if you think about it, 28,000 is cheaper than a whole full-time position. So,
Yeah, that's why I
you
was
know,
asking.
we'd rather have the positions and help, but
That's why I was asking if we were paying that much, if we was paying more than a whole salary, we just gonna hire somebody is.
I would prefer that, it'd be helpful, but
Okay. We'll get it down to the actual figures.
yes, ma'am.
We'll get it to the
I'll
actual
get,
figures when we're talking about money.
Okay. So am I getting with Jeannie or am I getting with you?
If you'll get with me, I'll
Okay.
see if I can get it plugged in. If not, then if it's crazy, then maybe we'll.
We just want to make for sure when we're buying equipment and things like that, that it is within the guidelines of this
Yes.
SB 22, because it's safety equipment,
Right.
it's
What he was
vehicles.
talking about, that one would qualify with the other wouldn't. So
Yes.
We would, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yes, right, we gotta make sure whatever's left over that we use it for. I know vehicles is one of them, and I'm thinking body cameras is one of them.
All right.
That would be it,
Is
yes,
safety.
safety, yes.
And we probably would need to have a meeting on this as soon as we can get these figures together so we can.
So when are y'all talking about starting to add that to the checks?
Well, I was just trying to make sure y'all understood that if anybody does start early, that we run, so what we're paying out October, this Friday, is for the 2 weeks in September, not October. So I was just letting you know that no matter what, if the reimbursement just comes back October, we can't start anything before the second payroll in October.
But when will we get reimbursed?
And as far as the SB 22?
January or February?
Yes, that's.
6 to 8 weeks after January 1st.
Yes.
You seen anything?
That, I was gonna echo, I think we're all saying the same thing. I feel like we've heard a little bit after January 1st, when I'm being a little bit.
I think
6 to 8 weeks is
I think it'll be around March.
That's your government.
That's what's being told, again, that's no,
We're gonna have, we'll have it to reimburse way prior to the next budget. I mean, we're gonna have it, it's gonna come. I've heard March from,
What's gonna come?
as far as the pay, the actual payment itself, the $350.
Will be when?
I heard it's gonna be close to March, if not
Could be
in
10.
March.
Oh, I thought next
It
payroll.
could be up.
No, no,
to
no.
10.
March.
No,
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, that
Stretches us out more.
The comptroller said it should be 30 days, but we're saying 90,
Yes.
but he said, we're really gearing for 30.
Right.
So,
They should have had it ready up front, so there you go.
I just wanna drive over there and get it.
Thank you. Trust what I say.
Hey, come on, Ryan,
This-
Yeah.
to the next meeting, since, or are y'all just gonna have a meeting?
We can table it to the next meeting, but if we can get everything kind of together, we may end up having a
We'll
special
have
meeting.
today,
to put it
I'll be in your
on.
office this afternoon.
But just to be safe.
Start changing my mind.
I mean, we're close, but we gotta have the numbers. All right. Do you want to table it, or do you want to go ahead and set a meeting for next week? Because this is Wednesday, and we couldn't have one until next week. Do you want to listen? Or anything else?
we don't want to do it.
Well, I know we'll have all the information. Me and Gina probably have that figured out today, this afternoon, while she's busy.
Let's do it next week and scratch it off quick.
I like that. Lay down.
We need to
Okay.
say something.
Did it
You're
have to be
full on
Monday?
Wednesday. We can do Monday, but we're full on Tuesday.
It have to be Monday or Thursday?
No, I won't be here Monday, so,
Thursday.
I mean, I don't have to be here, but I'm just saying I won't be here Monday.
What time do we start on Wednesday?
9 a.m. But that's not MRPs. Benji's coming at 9, and then you have an appointment at 10.
Okay. Well, we can't have it Monday.
I mean, y'all can.
We're open.
You're not here Monday or Thursday, either one?
I would be here Thursday, just not Monday.
Not Monday, okay.
But I don't have to be here is what I'm saying. I'll have my part done before then, so.
Either way, we can have it at 8 o'clock. We want to have it first of the week.
On Monday or Thursday? Or Wednesday, we have 8 o'clock.
That would be fun in February, was I heard.
Right.
Is this the only thing we're gonna have on it?
If you're doing it at 8 a.m.,
Probably
you can do
quick.
it on Wednesday.
Mhm.
If you're gonna do it at 8 a.m., you can do it on Wednesday.
Monday morning, 9 o'clock.
Now, Jeannie won't be here.
She said she didn't have to be here. She gonna already have her stuff turned in.
Okay. 8 o'clock Monday.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock Monday, yay. 9 o'clock Monday. All right.
You're gonna be picking up trees Monday anyway, that's be all right.
Do we have a motion to table
You don't
number
pick any trees
18
upstairs.
to Monday
Right upstairs.
at 9 o'clock?
We've got a virgin island, see
Do
where.
we have a motion?
How about get most?
Do we have a second?
I say.
All in favor, aye.
Sitting under it.
All right.
Do we get surveyed for every time we have a meeting, just not our every other week meeting?
Yes, we do. The check is in the mail.
You mean our weekly
This is
meeting?
set there and wait
Yeah.
for it.
Weekly.
We have weekly.
Sometimes
Well, I'm
two
gonna build
weeks.
an office over here, so we can just come over here today.
Well, I tell you what, if you want to wait until the next meeting, it will be, it'll be 2 weeks from now. We can do that.
We can wait on these, like Roy said, no.
Yeah, that's right. So we're just gonna have it at the regular meeting?
I know, it. I'm saying we can do that. if
I
we
rescind
want.
that motion. Thank you, Jack.
I would send my second. Now, y'all might see it.
Whatever.
I'll be back.
Put on the agenda for the next regular meeting.
All right.
Good, very good.
All right, we have a motion to rescind that one before and a second. All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Do we have a motion to table number 18?
Make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
They're
aye.
gonna buy.
Motion carried. All right, at this time, since we will be considering personnel matter, I think hiring an employee is a personnel matter, so we can go into executive session.
Yes, ma'am.
So at this time, we're going to go into 10:47. We're going to go into executive session personnel matter.